At 82 years old, I've seen more than my fair share of life. I've lived through moments that shaped the person I am today, moments that taught me things about myself, my family, and the world around me. I've seen this world change in ways I never imagined. I've watched the people I love grow older, become parents themselves, and even start new families. I've experienced the bittersweet joy of seeing my children leave home and find their own paths. I've loved deeply, lost dearly, laughed from the belly, and cried until I thought I couldn't anymore. But today, I want to talk to you about one decision. Just one decision. A decision that, if I could, I would take back. The decision to move into a nursing home. When I first heard the idea, it seemed so logical, so practical. I was getting older. My knees were aching more than usual, my eyesight wasn't as sharp as it once was, and everyone around me, my daughter especially, insisted that it was the best thing for me. "It's for your own good," they'd say, trying to reassure me. I remember one afternoon, sitting on the couch with my daughter as she took my hand in hers, looking into my eyes and telling me about all the wonderful things a nursing home could offer. How I'd be surrounded by people my age, how there would be nurses to take care of me, and how I wouldn't have to worry about cooking, cleaning, or anything else anymore. She told me it would be peaceful, comfortable, easy. But nobody warned me that this new life would cost me more than just my house. It would cost me my sense of self. Let me take you back to the morning I left. It wasn't just a house I was leaving behind, it was a life, one I had spent years building. I remember standing by the window, the morning sun streaming through the lace curtains my late wife had sewn with such love and care. I could still smell the faint lavender scent from the sachets she used to tuck in the drawers, the one she made for every season. Each corner of that house was filled with memories, and now, it felt like I was saying goodbye to a piece of myself. I looked at the crack in the wall where we had marked our children's heights over the years. I thought of the worn armchair in the living room where I used to sit for hours reading, of the kitchen where the kettle would whistle every morning at 7 a.m., signaling the start of the day. How could I leave that behind? How could I leave the very things that made me who I was? When we arrived at the nursing home, it was pristine, too pristine. The walls were painted a neutral beige, pictures of smiling seniors adorned the walls like some kind of advertisement. A young woman greeted me with a clipboard, calling me sir in a voice that felt a little too rehearsed. My daughter, bless her heart, hugged me tightly, promising that she'd visit every week. "You'll be so happy here," she whispered. But the moment she walked out that door, everything shifted. It was as if I had entered a new world, a world where I no longer had control over my own life. Living in a nursing home isn't just about having help when you need it. It's about giving up control, the small things that make life feel meaningful. At home, I woke up when I wanted to. I'd sit on the porch, listen to the birds, sip my coffee just the way I liked it, black, no sugar. My day was mine to shape. Now, I wake when they wake me. Breakfast is served at 8 a.m., whether I'm hungry or not. And that coffee? It comes in a paper cup, lukewarm, often too sweet for my liking. I used to decide how my day unfolded. I'd walk to the market, chat with my neighbors, or just sit quietly in the garden, letting my thoughts wander. But here, my schedule is no longer mine. Meals are scheduled. Rest is scheduled. Activities are scheduled. Everything is decided for me. And slowly, without even realizing it, you stop planning anything for yourself. You start making choices, and without choices, you start to lose a part of yourself. The hardest part, though, isn't the lack of control. It's watching yourself fade, day by day. Watching the vibrant pieces of your life slip away as you settle into the rhythm of routine. I met a man here, George. He was a carpenter by trade, with hands that had built so many things, bookshelves for his grandchildren, a garden bench for his wife. His hands were strong, his eyes full of pride when he talked about the work he had done. But here, in the nursing home, there was nothing to build. No more projects. No more purpose. One day, George turned to me and said, "I feel like I'm just waiting now." And after that, he stopped talking about the past. He stopped sharing the stories that had defined him for so many years. He spent his days sitting by the window, looking out at the world outside, but never truly seeing it. And then, one day, he was just gone. No more stories. No more laughter. Just silence. That's the other thing they don't tell you. The silence. Not the quiet of the hallways, but the silence that comes from the outside world. When I first moved in, my family visited every Sunday. We'd sit in the garden, talk about old times, laugh like we used to. But as the weeks went by, life outside moved on without me. First, it was every other Sunday. Then just on birthdays. Then came the phone calls. And then, nothing. Not because they didn't love me, but because I had become just another distant memory. Out of sight, out of mind. I remember the first Christmas here. The staff did their best to make it special. They decorated a tree, played carols over the loudspeakers, but it didn't feel like Christmas. The halls were empty, hollow. Each of us sat alone with our memories of Christmases past, when the house was filled with laughter, with children running around. I held on to a photo of my wife, our children gathered around the table, smiling. I couldn't help but wonder, how did I end up here? The physical changes, too. At home, I moved. I had to. I cleaned, I cooked, I walked. But here, there's no need. The meals come to me. The staff cleans my room. They tell me to rest. But resting too much? It makes you weak. My legs aren't what they used to be. The stairs that I used to climb with ease now feel like mountains. I used to feel old, but here, I feel ancient. And dignity? That slips away too, in ways that are hard to describe. Sharing a room with someone you don't know, asking for help to bathe, to dress. I used to take pride in doing these things for myself. Now, I wait for someone to come and help me with things I never thought I'd need help with. And let me tell you, it hurts. It hurts in ways that go beyond the physical. But here's the part they never tell you: once you're in a nursing home, leaving isn't easy. It's not as simple as just packing your things and walking out the door. Leaving means reclaiming everything you've lost. Your independence. Your purpose. Your strength. And sometimes, that takes more than most of us have left. If you're considering it, pause. Think about what really matters to you. Is it comfort? Or is it the freedom to live life on your own terms? Because comfort can quickly become a cage. Now, I'm not saying that all nursing homes are the same. I know some people truly need the care. Some thrive in these environments. But if you're someone who still has the strength to live, to make choices, to hold on to what makes you, think twice. And if you know someone who is considering it, share this with them. Let them hear from someone who has been there. Maybe it'll help them make a decision that will allow them to hold on to their life a little longer. Have you or someone you love faced this choice? Are you thinking about it now? I'd love to hear your story. Leave a comment, let's talk. Because sometimes, the first step in understanding is sharing. And if this message resonated with you, share it. Maybe someone out there needs to hear it today, before it's too late.